Every month, millions of Americans open their credit card bill, see the minimum payment, pay it on time, and feel responsible. Here's what nobody tells them. That exact habit can keep them in debt for almost 40 years. Not because they're bad with money, because the math was never built to let them win. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why that happens, and the one shift that turns a 40-year debt into something you can actually see the end of. Strip away the jargon, and debt is just one thing. Someone else's money, borrowed now, paid back later, plus a fee for the privilege of using it before you'd actually earned it. That fee has a name: interest. It's calculated as a percentage on what you still owe, and it gets added on top, again and again, for as long as the balance sits there. That's the entire mechanic behind every credit card, auto loan, mortgage, and student loan in the country. Here's the part most people skip past. Every payment you make gets split into two pieces. One piece chips away at what you originally borrowed, called the principal. The other piece just covers the interest that built up. Pay too little, and almost the whole payment disappears into interest, while the principal barely shrinks. That single fact is why two people can carry the exact same balance and end up in completely different places 5 years later. Think of a debt like a boss in a video game. It has an HP bar, that's your balance. And it regenerates HP every turn, that's the interest. Your payment is your attack. If your damage is smaller than the Regan rate, the HP bar never actually drops. You can keep hitting it forever, month after month, and the fight never ends. That's not a bug. That's how the boss was designed. Right now, U.S. household debt sits at $18.8 trillion, an all-time high. Credit card delinquency just hit its highest point in 16 years. The average American is fighting a boss worth about $6,500 in credit card balance alone, and roughly 80% of people in this country are mid-fight with some version of this monster. Here's the number that should stop you mid-scroll. A $5,000 boss at 18% interest, hit only with minimum payment-sized attacks, survives for close to 40 years. 40 years of turns, against an enemy that never runs out of HP to regenerate. So why does almost everyone fight this way? Because the minimum payment feels like doing something. You open the app, see a number you can actually afford, land the hit, and your brain gives you a little rush of relief. Attack landed, turn complete. But that number was never balanced to let you win the fight. Banks set it as a floor, not a strategy, just enough to keep you from getting kicked out of the dungeon. Nothing more. And that regen bar is doing the real work behind the scenes. Most of your damage gets absorbed by it first. Only a sliver actually cuts into the boss's real HP. You keep attacking, and the health bar barely moves. That's not you playing badly. That's a boss fight tuned against you from the start. Quick side note, not every boss regenerates the same. A fixed-rate mortgage heals slow and low. A credit card at 20% or more heals fast and hits back hard. Mortgages make up about 70% of household debt in the U.S., yet have the lowest delinquency rate. The real damage comes from the smaller, faster-healing enemies: credit cards, auto loans, student loans. Here's how you actually win a fight like this. You focus fire. In any game with multiple enemies, you don't spread damage evenly across all of them. You pick the one with the highest regen rate, the most dangerous one to leave alive. And you dump everything you've got into killing it first, while barely tapping the others. Debt works the same way. The shift isn't some secret system or an app that fixes everything for you. It's one decision. Send more than the minimum, even by $50, and point that extra damage at whichever debt has the highest interest rate. That single change is the difference between a 40-year unkillable boss and an enemy whose HP bar you can actually watch drop to 0. Here's what that focus fire strategy looks like in practice. List every debt you're carrying along with its interest rate. Keep landing minimum hits on all of them except one, the fastest healing boss on the list. Every extra dollar you can find goes into that fight. Once that one is down, take the damage you are dealing to it and redirect all of it to whichever debt has the next highest rate. Your total attack power doesn't change. It just moves to a new target, one boss at a time. Some people prefer taking down the smallest HP bar first instead, just to bank an early win and stay motivated, and that works too. The method matters less than the direction. What matters is that HP bars are actually dropping instead of regenerating back to full. Go back to that $5,000 boss at 18% interest. Minimum attacks alone, nearly 40 years, and well over $10,000 spent just feeding the Regan. Add an extra $100 a month of damage on top of the minimum, and that same boss is dead in under 5 years. Same debt, same income. The only thing that changed is where the extra damage landed. This isn't financial advice, just a way to see your own numbers more clearly. But it's worth remembering, the minimum payment on your statement was written by a bank, not by your future.